Welcome to a new video of this course. In the last video, we have created a brand new vSphere cluster, and in this video, we will be adding 3 brand new ESXI hosts to that cluster. And if this is the first time you watch these videos, then let me tell you that this video is part of a full training course on how to automate vSphere using Terraform. You will find the playlist link in below in the description of this video. All right, so let's get going. And this one is pretty simple, but we need just to pick the right code for us. And as usual, yeah, these are the leftovers from the previous lesson, and we will be referring to few information from here. But as usual, let's create a new directory for this lesson, and let's call it 009 and join hosts, right? 009 to join the hosts. Great. As usual, this is a brand new directory, so let's copy the data from here over there, the shared file. So let's take the data file, not the main, but the providers, variables, and let's go over there and paste. Cool. Nice. So let's check here what we need to do. Providers are fine. The variables, yeah. Let's create, of course, a main.tf file. So main.tf, and let's grab the code. Let's go to Google as usual. Okay, let's say Terraform Code, vSphere host. Or let me actually remind you of something. Terraform Code vSphere cluster, and let's go to the cluster code once again, just for one more time, just to say that again. So in this code here, to create a cluster, it joins, you are able to join ESXI hosts to the cluster. However, this here, it joins existing ESXI hosts that you can see here. But in our case, or in my case here in this lab, I have a brand new hosts, 3 hosts. I've just configured the IP addresses to these hosts and networking settings, and they are ready to join the vCenter. You don't need to do this manually. You can do this again via code. So we're not using this, we are using something different. Let's go again to Google and type here Terraform Code vSphere host. So this will be creating new vSphere hosts. Yeah, this is the page, vSphere host. Let's check the code together, and then I will explain. As usual, here it's fetching data, obtaining data about the data center. Here it's obtaining the thumbprint, and this is necessary, of the host. So it will be querying the thumbprint of the host before actually joining the host. So this one is needed. And here is the needed block. So this block will be provisioning the ESXI host. You can directly assign a license from here. If you want, you can also do this at a later stage. Define the credentials, right, host name, etc, etc. This is really cool, and you can of course this is just to join it to a data center, but to join it to create the host in a cluster, you'd need this code here. So in this code here, we need, of course, to obtain information, the ID of the cluster that it will be joined, and here is the cluster information that we need to pass through. And as usual, go through the arguments for different settings that you might need to adjust or configure based on your the needs in your environment. Let's paste this over there and in our main file, and then move around the different code blocks. So the data center, we don't need this. We already have it in our data file, data.tf. The vSphere cluster, yeah, we need this, of course, but let's move it to the correct file to have our code well organized. So I'll be pasting it here. Okay. What else? The data about the thumbprint of the hosts. I will be also moving this somewhere else. Data. Yep. Sorry. Yes, there it is. What else? So we have only this block of code to provision a new resource, which is the ESXI hosts. So what do we need to define here? The ESXI host name and the rest of the information. This will be doing it for one host. But if you have 2 hosts, 3 hosts, 4 hosts, you can just duplicate this code, this block of code in the same file, and make, whenever you need to make changes to the hosts, you can go to them just one by one and do it. But in real life, what if you have more hosts to handle? This won't work. You can't manage it in a different blocks of code. So if you are pretty sure that these hosts are there and they will be always for that cluster, so you can use only a single block of code with a loop or a for each statement. If you remember in our one of our previous lessons about provisioning multiple VMs, that's what I'm going to do. So if everything is identical, same brand, everything, and they will be always in a certain cluster, then let's add all of them just in one go. So I will be cheating from previous lectures. Let me I think you can see better now. Yeah, let me just like that so you can see the code better. Okay, so let me just grab a piece of the code from a previous lecture. So to deploy multiple VMs, I just need the the 4 statements under the main file, and here this is the one that I need from the virtual machines. I'm copying this. Let's close that and let's go back to minimize this. Let's go back here to our code and let's just leave some space to make the necessary changes. Oh yeah. One more time. Multiple VMs, main. Yeah. I just need, that's it. And let's go back to our main here file and paste. Cool. Let's make the code look nicer. All right. So the host name, will have this in here. Okay, let's remove this. We don't need it. Let's clean up the code a bit. Nice. And for each, what are we defining here? Let's say here first. These are ESXI hosts to provision it in this block. This is the label I'm giving it, but it's up to you to give it whatever label you find suitable. Okay, for each, let's name a variable here. So let me remove this and let's call it, for example, Terraform ESXI hosts, for example. Okay, and we need to declare, of course, a variable for that. Let's go to the variables file and do that here below. Variable. This is the variable name. The type string as usual. The default value. And here actually the type needs to be a little bit modified. So this is a list. So we will be defining the names of all of the ESXI hosts here in this variable. So this is going to be a list, and the type of this list is actually a string. The default value is this. And yeah, let's give the host names. The host names I have in my lab are tf-6i01.aitn.local. This is the host name of one of the hosts in my lab environment, and yeah, I just need to remove this from here, and I will put it at the end of the code. Second line of code, the second ESXI hosts I have, which is called 02, etc. So on and so forth. So third, let's just make the code look nicer, and let's put a closed square bracket here. This looks, yeah, this looks nice. Let's save. Great. Let's go back to the code, to the main file. So we have this here. Please be happy with it. And the root is root, and the password is, I will put the password to the hosts I have. And again, this is not the best practice on how to store your passwords, so please use a key vault or some other variable, maybe variables on your computer or something, to save it properly. Let's define the thumbprint. So once again, the thumbprint here is in the data section. All right. So let's go to data, and the data here, in here we are declaring or obtaining the data about the thumbprint. But once again, guys, this is just for one host. We need this to be for a list. All right. If you are going to use them, if you're going to use a dedicated block of code per ESXI host, then my suggestion to you is, yeah, of course you will have to duplicate these. Otherwise, just use a for loop statement. Okay, I will copy and paste here again from the main file the for each statement. I'll copy this and that just to carve it. Go to data. Let's go to thumbprint, and the block of code I will just leave it called thumbprint. I don't care, you can give it any name you like. All right, so let's take the value for the host name, which here is not actually host name, which is the address, which is yeah, it's definitely the host name of the ESXI, or the IP address or something, it depends. So the address field supports or accepts values for both the IP address, either the IP address of the host or FQDN, but if FQDN is definitely more professional. And the for each, we need here to set the, it's already there, yeah, so it will be referring to the variables of the host names in the variables file. I'm saving this, and is it insecure, which is true, in case your new ESXI host does not have, or has only the self-signed certificate, which is, yeah, normal. All right, let's go back here to the main file. And it's just complaining here about a missing curly brace. Let's give it to it. Right. What else? The thumbprint. This is ready. The cluster. It's going to refer to a block of code called the cluster, and I think it's the same one here. Yeah, the cluster, and we need also to make a change here. So the cluster name is not actually vCluster. We can get it from the variables file, I guess. No, it's no longer in the variables file. It's fine. I can just directly define it here. So it's Terraform-cluster04. I hope it's correct. If it's not, it's fine. We can troubleshoot it together, guys. So yeah. So the block of code is called cluster, and over there it's also cluster. So cluster.cluster, which is nice. It's going here by default to configure NTP. It's okay. If you don't want to configure this now, you can remove that block of code. But in this situation, in my lab I don't care, and this NTP server pool URL is also fine by me. Nice. All right, I think we are almost done, and there is an error somewhere, by the way. I will leave it as a surprise unless there are more errors that I'm unaware of. Anyway, let's go 009. I'm already there. Okay, so let's initiate this directory. Terraform init. Great, it has been successfully initiated. Let's run Terraform plan and see what happens. Great. So this is the error I was expecting, and it's a good thing for us to learn. What is it complaining about? It's complaining about the value of the thumbprint, and as it says here, yeah, because the thumbprint block is actually for each, which is a list here in this case. So yeah, you need to make a change here. You should use this function, yeah, each.key, to instruct the code to look for or iterate a list, right? So let's copy that one and let's go to the here under the host block under the thumbprint, and let's add this here. If you're not sure where to add it, if you just refer to this again, here it says this is the name of the block of the resource, so vSphere host thumbprint, and then it comes after. So there it is, vSphere host thumbprint, and that's it. I'm saving the file, and let's run the plan once again. Fingers crossed. Excellent. Let's expand this a little bit. What is it going to do? It's going to add 3, right? So if we check here each one, it's going to, yeah, this host will be created 01 with these options and with this license key or product key added to it. With the NTP settings 02, it will be added to our cluster. Where's the name of the cluster here? Why don't I see? Yeah, the cluster. The cluster name is there. This is just the non-friendly name of the cluster, and host number 3. Cool. Okay, so let's go to the web browser and let's refresh our vCenter server. Nothing here but the empty cluster from the last session. Let's do it. Terraform plan apply, sorry. So apply, and let's not pass. Let's just double check, and yes, please. It's adding it. Let's see what's happening over there. As you can see, we have something inside. Oh no, sorry, not this one, not this one, this one. Yeah. So these are the hosts, and if you can, as you can see here, the status down below, it's adding them. They were in maintenance mode, now they are in production. So the output here is successful. Perfect. Yeah, let's check the hosts. So that this is one host here. Nice. Yeah, let's go to the config. I'm just curious about the NTP. It was under system, no, advanced system settings or services. Yeah, if I remember correctly, the place. Yep, and we can just search for. Can't I just search? All right. Okay, so let's just look for NTP D. Yeah, NTP daemon. Okay. Is it the one? And what should I do here? Just edit? No. Yeah, edit startup. No. yeah, at least here we can see that this service is in a running state, and let's go to the time configuration of the host, and there we can see the same time server that was defined in Terraform. It's, of course, it's defined in here. Yeah, I hope that has been informative to you guys. So the next time we will be making changes to the cluster, like enabling DRS, high availability, and other stuff. Till then, have a good one. See you soon. Bye bye.